Well, good morning, my little tiki-talkies. How is everyone this morning? Are we good? Are we tired because it's Wednesday? I don't know about you. I stayed in my jams today. I was just not feeling the morning this morning. But alas, at least I get to stay in my jams. I know not everyone is that fortunate. So, got a couple of things today, and I'm pretty excited to show you some things. So you all wanted to see how this worked out yesterday after I trimmed it down. And so I've got this to show you. Pretty cool. I love how these dots turned out over here. It almost kind of looks like a leopard print almost, but it's not. But I love it. So pretty pleased with how this one turned out. I cut it down to an 8x10. So again, I'm happy with it. I think it's pretty cool. So, yep. And then yesterday I did my first Amazon Live, and I need to still figure it out, but I wanted to show this sketchbook because I like this sketchbook for day-to-day sketchbook work. And anyway, I did this there yesterday. All my acrylic is dry now, so this is looking good. Happy with the way this turned out and thought you guys might like to see it. So thought I would bust that out to show you before we get started for today. And today I was thinking we would also do a little something different. I have these little tiny canvases. These, I want to say I got them at like, I don't know, Ross or I don't know, Ross, maybe Five Below, you know, one of those cheapy stores. And I was like, you know, we haven't done any acrylic painting. Now, I'm not a botanical acrylic painter. I am an abstract painter through and through. So I was thinking, you know what? Why don't we do some abstract acrylic paint? And you know, it might turn into a mixed media because that's how I do things around here, apparently. So I got some red, blue, yellow, so we can mix whatever colors we want. I've got some black. I got some white. And let's see here. I've got some phthalo cyan green. Let's see what else. Got some neutral gray. I got some other reds and blues. Payne's gray. Got a yellow ochre. Oh, this one's already open, so we can use that one. And I got a rose pink. I don't know if I'll use it for anything, but the other thing I thought that we could do, which, where did I put it? I think, oh, where did I put that thing? I have the Palette Scout, and I thought it would be fun to come up with a color palette and then try to mix it with the Palette Scout. What did I do with the Palette Scout? Hang on. Oh, there it is. I was like, I know I put it somewhere over here. Okay. If you don't know what Palette Scout is, it's this. It's basically this thing that helps you to come up with different color palettes for your projects. And I will admit that I don't take advantage of this enough. I really should. Most of the time, I just kind of reach for the same color palettes that I'm used to, and really I should take advantage of it. So if you've never seen Palette Scout, this is by Zollie. I think I just call it Zollie, but it comes with 180 color swatches, front and back. They also come with challenge cards, again, front and back. So there's a total of 8 challenge cards. By the way, I'm not affiliating for this. I don't even know if they can go in my TikTok shop, but I'll put them there if I can. But each color comes with a color card, and let me make sure they're all going in the right direction for you. And basically each color card has different color combinations on it to help inspire you for a color. So for example, if you wanted to use the color amber, which is this one right here, it's saying if you wanted to use complement colors, which is complementary colors, you could use the purple and yellow. If you wanted to do monochromatic, you could do these 2 colors. If you wanted to do analogous, you could do these, split, complement these, and triadic these. Now, if you flip this over, it'll show you all the different colors and pure intensity and tones in amber. So let me show you what that means, because I think it's pretty cool. If I have all of the amber tones here, let me turn that over, you'll notice that it has a triangle on this side with a number 1, but if I turn it over, it has a triangle with a dot on the other side, and that means this is its pure intensity, but this is its tone. So you can have all these vibrant ones on this side, but if you turn it over, you get a more muted tone. And the way that the tone works, if you look at the back here, it works based on value. So what the value is basically its value from light to dark. And it does go through all of that in here to talk about. So you can go over what we just talked about. And then let me see here, where's the color tone? Oh, here we go. So the grayscale is essentially just going 1 through 5 by adding, you know, additional, select a palette that includes a range of values across both hues, so your design has good contrast, snap a photo, blah, 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 blah. Essentially what it does is it adds like grayscale to it. So you get darker, but you also get less vibrant. There you go. I'm not explaining that well. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not affiliating for this, although maybe I should. So I thought it would be fun to use these today. Like I said, the back has like the more neutral, less vibrant tones, and then these are the pure tones. So it comes also with this that shows you all the different colors that it comes with, and each of them come with 5 cards, again, front and back, that has all the different tones. So as you can see, we have a lot to choose from. So I think that we should come up with a color palette that looks cool, that we can make some sort of painting with. Now, I have an idea in mind because they do have a lot of things on their website that talk about different color combinations that you can use. But you guys know, if you've been following me for a while, and if you're part of my everyday lives, that I am all about the ocean colors right now. It is spring here in Florida. Let me try this side. It is spring here in Florida. And I was actually just at the beach last night filming a ridiculous video for a product that was sent to me for review. And I'm just obsessed with turquoise and teal. So I'm kind of feeling like I need to do something with these tones. Again, though, I don't have to, but let me show you the color range on these. So you can see these are all the pure intensity tones, 1 through 5. And then if you turn them over, these are the same ones, but with the difference in tones versus the pure intensities. So hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, so if I wanted to, for example, work with this color, which is called Ocean, I'd come over here and find Ocean. I don't even know if I have these in alphabetical order still. It looks like they probably are. Okay, so come over here, and here we have the Ocean card. And on this side, it'll show you all the pure intensities and all the tones. And then on the other side, as you can see, it has all the palette ideas. So we have complement, monochrome, analogous, split, complement, and triadic. So I don't know, I'm kind of really digging the triadic and kind of the complement. So that might be fun. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to take these, and I know for sure I want to use that color. That color is a must. So then let's go for this one. This one is probably Flame, since it's a circle, which is one thing that I also like about this palette, is that it's got the different shapes for the colors. So if you see it here, it's easier to identify the shape. So for example, garnet here is, hopefully you can see that, is a triangle. So that's how I know that this one's garnet. and flame here is a circle. So that's how I know this one's a circle. Let me zoom in just a little bit so you guys can see this better. I'm gonna just make this look kind of wonky for a second. Forgive me. Okay. And don't look at my boob there. Okay, so, and let me put this on Do Not Disturb or else my group chats are going to be going off like crazy there. Okay, so let's head over to Flame. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grab all these, set this aside. I'm going to put all these on the regular intensity side. Okay. And so we've got this side and this side, and obviously that looks like a pretty close match. So we're going to grab this and put it here. I'm going to set this over here. Ooh, I like these two together too. They're so pretty. Okay, so we've got these, and I think what I want to do is also bring back this right here and just take a peek and see if there's anything in these that I might like to use as well. So if I'm looking at these, I kind of like this one. So let's maybe consider that one. And I like this one too. And the other thing about this is that the reason you get these 5 shades is because you can get a light, a medium, and a dark. And so when you're building your color palettes, you have the option of making sure that you get that variation in your color tones. So for example, now you've got your dark color, you've got your highlights, you've got your mid-tones, and then of course you can grab anything in between, which is great, right? Good morning, Lori. How are you this morning? I am trying to pick a color palette for an acrylic thing we're doing. Oh, Lenny G is here too. Okay, shoot. She's got her coffee. I've got my coffee. We are rolling this morning. So anyway, so that's what I've got going on. The other thing I'm going to do is pull up the card for Flame, which is over here. And obviously you can see Flame has the same complement color. And I'm just going to look down here and kind of see if they have anything else in common that might be of interest. So we obviously know the monochromes because we've got those here. I might like to bring in maybe an orange. I don't know. Let's see. So the orange is the triangle. So I'm thinking that's Daylily, which happens to be right here. Lori says, is that what you are playing with? Yes, it is. It's Palette Scout. I've had this for a couple years and I don't use it as often as I should. And I did a review for it on my Amazon storefront, and I was like, you know what? Why don't I do this on TikTok? I don't know why I don't use this and show people how they can actually use it. I don't even know if it's available in TikTok Shop, but if it is, I'll add it. But yeah, I don't know why I've just not used it, but I thought it would be fun to get on here and show it. Is this paint for a wall color? No, this is for anyone who needs to put together a color palette. This is going to be for what we are working on today. Yes, I can send you a link, Lori. And then Rose says, what are these for? So this is Palette Scout. This is for anybody who needs to build a color palette for anything. It's really helpful for artists because artists especially are usually putting together multiple color palettes for anything. So whether you're a surface designer, a quilter, somebody who is an interior designer, a graphic designer, a painter in this case, or really anybody who's putting together any sort of color palettes can use this. Yeah, it's really helpful. When I bought it, I was doing a lot of surface design. And so I would use this to put together a collection of about 12 to 15 colors for my surface design collection so that I could have a cohesive color palette across everything. And I could make sure that I had a good bit of lights, a good bit of darks, and then a nice range of in-between colors. So it was really fun to really explore those color combinations and things like that. So yes, I will absolutely send you those. let's see here. Cece's mom says, my show is on. The Florida Jen show is on. That is so funny. It's funny because the other thing too is that like I was asked to put together a media kit for influencing and for this product that I had asked for in the Amazon creator commissions. And I was like, what is an influencer media kit? And so I had to do some research on it. I'm supposed to finish it today, but as I'm learning about it, I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, you should, really talk about how you go live in the mornings and blah, 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 blah. And they're like, as I'm I'm talking to Claude. So when I say they, I'm really talking about AI. They're like, you have like a steady, like appointment style audience, and that's important to put there. And I'm like, hang on one sec. Let me clean up this chat. There we go. They're like, you have an appointment audience, which is very rare, but it's basically where people love to just come and watch you do what you do and listen to you talk. So it's not necessarily that like you're selling, but like they just love listening to you and the things that you say and then watching the things that you do, but also passively listening in the background. I'm like, I don't know why, because my voice isn't that good, but okay, show. I guess when you do hit this point, though, you get a lot of these people whose accounts you have to block, which is exactly what I'm doing back and forth. If I get more people trying to poach my people, I swear. I wonder if there's a way I can like automatically like block those people. I don't know. I need to look into moderation. But back to this. Okay, I don't like these colors with this. I love this. This is reminding me of the ocean, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you see Lenny G in the chat there, she is my sister-in-law. She is amazing. She's been married to my little brother for 6 years. 6 years? 5 years. It'll be 6 years in November. And she and I went last night to the beach because I had a product I needed to film for called the Chilbo Schwagen. And if you all saw my last video, that was so silly. Now, I'm not using my TikTok to like sell to people. Just so you know, if you're new here and you're watching me, like I'm not like posting my Amazon influencer stuff here because like I've built a following here of people who are artists that like love to watch my lives. But we talk about a lot of stuff on my lives and a lot of the shenanigans that I get into, and they're hysterical. So I had mentioned that I was doing this product review for a, what was it? A pool float. And I got this message from the company who was like, yes, we would love to work with you, but could you please show somebody having fun with the pool float? Because I guess a lot of times Lauren in Color says, I think you're relatable and fun to watch. Oh, thank you. I try. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to show my kids. Like, I'm not putting my kids on the internet like that. So Cece's mom says, yep, go check out her YouTube that she doesn't promote because it's salesy. Yeah, it's very salesy. I just spam everything on there. Same with my Florida Jen Faves Instagram, because I'm not going to put that on here. Now, I may put some things on here that I think you guys might like. And if you guys want to see the shenanigan style stuff because it's funny, like I'll definitely post that. But anyway, so for this pool float, I'm like, I don't know if you guys watched Friends, but there's this episode of Friends where Phoebe runs with Rachel and she runs weird. And then Rachel tries to get out of it. Oh, you're so sweet, Cece. Thank you. Cece's mom. And so there's this episode where she runs weird and Rachel tries to get out of running with her because she doesn't want to be seen running with the weird runner. And so when they finally confront that issue during the show, Phoebe says, I run the way that I did when I was a kid because it's the only way that it's fun. And so I definitely feel that way towards a lot of things. And so the pool float is no different. So I was like, and everybody who has also followed me for a while also knows that like the whole reason I started doing all of this was because I lost my job back on Halloween, and it's been really difficult to try to get another one. And so I was deciding to try to do the Amazon influencer program to try to make some extra cash, because it's not that we needed my salary, but we did need some of my salary. So I'm just trying to make up a relatively small deficit. And anyway, so I got on here, and the only way I was going to talk for a long period of time was doing my art. And so I have, it's not a persona because it's me, but it's Florida Jen, named after Florida Stanley from The Office, who wanted to go pitch himself to go to Florida because Florida Stanley smiles. Florida Stanley's who you want on your Florida team. And so I'm like, well, I am Jen. I don't give a crap about anything right now. So let's just go with Florida Jen. And one of my favorite things to do is have a minty iced lemonade in the afternoons when I go pick up my kids from school. So when the company said, will you show somebody having fun with the float, I was like, hold my minty iced lemonade. And so I took it to the pool and I did all these ridiculous things to it. And I was sitting there talking about it over my live. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, this sounds like it's going to be hilarious. You have to show us when you're done. So I did. So last night we were doing the Chilbo schwaggin, and Florida Jen came back out, you guys. I really wish I could show you the thumbnail of what it looks like, because if you remember the float video, it like starts with me walking up and my unpainted toenails are, well, they're not unpainted. They're really bad. Like I haven't painted my toes since before Christmas. So what's on there is still Christmas, or what's left on there is Christmas. And so it starts with me walking up in my flip-flops, and then it stops and it pans all the way up, and it's me with my bag and my pool float. And I just have this stupid look on my face. I have this white, stuff covering my nose, and my big old floppy hat with my solar, oh, do I have it in here? Oh, it's over there. Yeah, here we go. My solar fans. Okay, shoot, you guys. Florida Jen in the house. Florida Jen in the house. Anyway, so last night, since we went to the beach, I had a red swimsuit top on and a blue hibiscus type swimsuit cover up. And of course, I had the stripe down my nose. I had the hat on. I had my bog bag, and I had my Chilbo. And we had so much fun, Lenny G and I, trying to get this video. It didn't quite go how we originally had planned. We were going to do this whole windsock thing and me being the used car salesman thing. But I think we got something better. And yes, I did try to do the worm on it. And no, it didn't go well. But I do have a funny story. Actually, we have a funny story, Lenny says. And she was looking smexy. I don't know what smexy means. Probably smelly and sexy. I don't know. But what was funny was that we started filming, and then a couple just like down the way from us was getting married. Oh, I did a breached birth. Yeah, I stuck my butt in the air. So now they have this crazy Florida Jen lady in their photos while they're getting married. I was like, hey, we were here first. Your photographer can position you elsewhere. But oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard. We were laughing so hard. And Lenny had her backpack chair on because we thought we might use a beach chair for something. But no, it really turned more into me doing like an interpretive dance with this windsock type thing, trying to air it up. It was a lot harder to air up than I thought. And then by the end, I kind of just laid on it like a drunk lady who passed out on the beach. So it was kind of funny, but I mean, it was really funny. So I'll probably have that up later today. But anyway, that is not why you joined this live. So let me get back to it. Just wanted to share that with you. So go follow Lenny G, by the way. because she's my sister-in-law and I will plug her. Oh dear. Not sure that I need to bring in the greens. The greens, I think, you know, I think we're good with this, you guys. What do you think? You like this color palette? I feel like I've seen this on Zollie's website. But I think we're good with this. Like, we could even bring in like this mid-tone, but I think we're going to get that on its own anyway. So let's just go with this. And that, by the way, is how you use the Zollie palette. Zollie, whatever. All right. So now that you've seen and experienced the Palette Scout, let me move this off to the side. Yeah? Okay, shoot! Yeah, I'm not really a red person, but like, I love this. Love it. All right, so let's move this. I'm gonna keep this on this desk so that we can play with it more often. All right, now I've got my palette paper right here, so we can mix this up real good. Now, I'm gonna get as close to these things as I can. Whether or not it's gonna be accurate is a completely other story. So I'm gonna put these where you can see them, hopefully, right there. And let's start with this phthalo cyan green right here. Ooh, it's like squeezing out a turd. There we go. All right. And then it's a little too green, so I'm going to add just a little bit of Prussian blue. And I think once we mix that together, that should be pretty close to this one. And then we've got Ocean, which we're going to use Prussian blue. Actually, it'll probably be very similar. We'll do, I think I'm putting way too much on here, but whatever. And then, oh, this one is like constipated. There we go. And then we'll add white too. Lighten it up a bit. I am adding way too much of this, you guys. I'm going to need a much bigger canvas. All right, then Flame. We're going to do Permanent Red. Oh dear. Apparently it's just all sorts of toilet noises this morning for this one. Get. Okay. And then some yellow ochre to orange it up a little. It's going to look like mustard and ketchup. And then we'll do the same thing for Flame, I think. Maybe on a much lighter scale over here. Sorry, I'm like, bam! Just smack it. Some of those are hard to close. That's why I just learned to smack it. That one I didn't have to smack. It's like a baby's butt. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave this like this, mix it, and then for this last one, I'll just add more white to that. I don't know why I didn't think to do that to begin with. Okay, so I think what I'll do is use my little Catalyst number 4 mini and get this mixed in real good. By the way, I took a Sudafed this morning to try to dry some of this stuff up so I didn't have to sit here and sniffle in your faces all morning. Hopefully that will be kicking in soon. Okay, shoot, this be looking right, you guys. I'd say that's pretty close. That's what she said. All right, where is my other... Bring this. Ooh. Let's do this. Ta-da! Okay, there's that. Now let's do this one. And maybe, just maybe, We'll bring in some of that paste. Maybe we'll make it oceany, I don't know. Probably not, because we're going to use some of this red. And I think this is too blue. We're definitely going to need some more green. But I'm thinking the best way to do that is going to be to use some yellow ochre to green it up. We'll see. Probably also going to need more white. Say the tone is almost there. Let's add some white. You sound better, but I don't want to jinx it. Girl, my right ear is still so clogged from, I'm guessing there's inflammation in my eustachian tube that's like not allowing it to drain. I feel like I'm talking so loud. Lindsay can vouch for it. Lindsay, what? I can't hear you. She's probably used to it though, because my brother has significant hearing loss in one of his ears. And when he came out last night, when she came to get in my van, I was like, this must be like what you deal with all the time. He's like, yeah, probably. I'm like, you say that so nonchalantly. I don't like this. All right, so let's add some more yellow. And what I might end up doing is just kind of pulling some of this off and adding more white, because I don't want to just keep adding to this and just having to dilute it more and more and more and more to where I just have this big blob. I used to have a color very similar to that, but my daughter stole it and then used it. All of it. I've started locking my door, my office door. Like, you freaking little thief. I love her, but she needs to keep her hands off my art supplies. That's why she goes to art school. That's why we pay for her art supplies. So stop taking my good stuff. This canvas is so tiny, you guys. I used way too much paint. All right. So this is not anywhere close to that, and I need it to be. I do have some of this crappier Bahama Blue. Oh, Mafia Mama is new. She says, I'm new here. What is it that you're doing? I am so glad that you asked, Mafia Mama. So we used Palette Scout to come up with a color palette for a painting we are going to do, which is going to be just kind of an abstract sort of situation. And because I am kind of known as an abstract artist, or a mixed media artist, if you will. And right now I'm trying to mix the paint colors to mimic this. And I'm just, you know, making a giant mess while doing it. And mixing up way too much. And now this is going a little too green, thanks to, you know, too much yellow. That's okay though, because on this channel, we don't always go for perfection. Oh, this one is constipated as crap. Literally crap. So we're just going with it. But every morning I get on here and I do an art demo, and it usually lasts an hour and a half or so. And this morning's just taking a little bit longer because this is the first time I'm showing everybody the Zollie Palette Scout. And, you know, we chit chat, we have fun, we make cross jokes. My regulars are awesome people. Love listening to their stories, chatting with them every day, seeing their art. I try to repost their art when they tag me in it. All right, you guys, this is not going well. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back here to this crapo one because it's closer in that color, closer to that color. Ta-da! And I'm going to grab just a slight little bit, I think, of this darker one and maybe just darken it a hair. And let's see if we can get what we need out of that. I think it's just going to be one of those situations where it's close enough. I'm going to have to go on their website and see if they have a paint color recommendation for that, because I love that color. Why is it so goopy? All right, what do we think? Do we think this is close enough? I know it's not quite there, but I'm thinking that's as good as it's going to get. What do we think? All right, while we're thinking about that, you think this one looks closer? I think that one almost looks closer. This one's just a bit dark. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's like almost an in between these two. We'll see. All right, let me mix this one together. Okay, Jen clearly doesn't understand that a little goes a long way because this is intense. So we're going to pivot over here. We're going to add that white, and then we're going to add just a little bit of this. Take some of that off and grab just a little bit of this. Gonna add just a little bit more of this. Okay. So this one is a little bit yellower than I would like, but I think if I add just a smidge more of this red, we'll get it. I'm going to need Zollie to start making paint that matches their color swatches. So if you're out there It's like cutting lines. Why do these people keep coming up in my feed offering to bless people? Because I am blessed and thankful for everything. But if the devil don't let my chat room go, I'm gonna cut the devil's off and shove it in his Okay, if you guys don't know what that's from, don't come at me. It's from a skit by Key and Peele. All right, I'd say that's pretty close, but it needs just a smidge more pink. There's red, pink, whatever. I am a pacifist upon God's request. Again, don't come at me. It's a Key and Peele skit. I mean, you can come at me if you want. I'm good for it. Let's see here. My preaching here. We have gathered together today to learn about the blessings of user 794265750006, who will bless the first 5 people to message them with the word God did. And indeed he did. Why am I so cool? Why am I so stupid? All right, I think that's close enough to that. Now, I know what's going to happen if I mix this, and I just don't want it to happen, so I'm not even going to let it happen. So instead, I'm going to go back over here and try to make it happen with this. Don't you start, puppy dog. And if you guys that are here have been around since the Jack incident, that's why my fan club is called Jack. She's just trying to communicate with Calvin, Lindsay. She said, where's my cow pal? Where my cow pal at? He's probably sleeping. Why are you all up in my mayonnaise and mustard just because you can't catch up? Okay, shoot. I know that's right, girl. The Jack incident. See, Cece knows. Cece's mom knows. I keep calling her Cece, but it's weird to say Cece's mom when I can just say Cece. The Jack incident that almost got me banned for a week. But hey, the Lindsay incident got me banned for a week. I'll take that. I doubt that for 100 bob. This is so boring. Just sitting here mixing colors like I know what I'm doing. I mean, I do know what I'm doing, but I'm like, here, let's do this, and not spend an hour doing it. I'm also stupid. Cece is fine. That's my kid's online persona. I like it. My kid's online persona is different. We have uncombable hair for one of them, Ghost Slaya for another one, Lawn Boy for another one, and I actually don't know what my oldest one's is anymore. She changes it like underwear. Unless you're talking about a teenager changing underwear, then maybe not, but... All right, I think we're getting close. That's what she said. Hi, Charlene. Good morning. Nice to see you here this morning. Oh, I just heard a truck fart outside. Somebody must be getting like some furniture delivered or something. All right, I think we're really close with that. I know it doesn't look like it in the camera there. But I think that's pretty spot on. Now, we've got that, we've got that. The only one left is this. And I think what we're going to do with this is just add some white to this. So I'm going to move these out of the way. And I actually have 2 of these little square canvases. And I know this is a lot of paint, so we're just going to go with 2 different ways of doing it. What I'm going to do is something with brushes first, and then the second one, I'm just going to take whatever's left over and palette knife the crap out of it. Deal? Deal. All right, first up, let's use my big, fat, juicy Princeton Neptune number 14. Normally I would get this wet first, but this is not going to hold much. So I'm going to leave it as is. And because this is such a sloppy mess, I'm going to just hold this while I do it. I'll probably get my finger all dirty, so let me grab me a glove. This may be a stupid question, but is that acrylic? It is not a stupid question. And yes, it is acrylic. I decided to go a little bit different today. So I'm going to start with this dark one right here. And I'm just going to start... Oh, look at how green that went. Look at how green that went. I'm going to start... Kind of looks like an elephant trunk or a peen. Let's try to not make it look like a peen. All right. And get some of these corners. Jewel. Hello, Jewel. I love art too. I'm so glad that you are here because we are all lovers of art. And I would say this is turning out more green than it looked right here on the palette, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm going to take some of this and kind of just go over. I don't want to do too much because it's obviously blending, so I'm going to grab another brush, which I will grab this little juicy Neptune 3/4 flat and get some nice light areas in here, because that's really the star of the show, is this one. And we're just kind of working quickly as we can. There we go. And then let's grab this one. I don't like this brush as much. Laurel, ooh, what are we making? I don't know, but we're hoping something good. It's just going to be kind of like a mixed media. I keep looking at one that I did over here. I'll show it to you guys. Ugh. Not mixed media, abstract. It's not going to look like this one, but oh, here, I'll do it this way. Just figure something mushy like that. Okay, so let's go in with some of this red deliciousness. I don't want to mix the red too much. So I'm going to go in on these white spots. We might have to let some of this dry a little bit so that that doesn't happen. We'll see. We'll see. And I'll put some down here too. And then, we'll do this. And then let's just grab this not so juicy brush. This is just a Master's Touch 3/8 dagger. And we're just going to kind of add this here. I'm going to try not to get too much of that into... Ooh, I kind of like that, you guys. Let's kind of look at right. Ooh, but I don't want it to look like ketchup. Yeesh. All right, we're going for some water now. All right, let's grab some of this. And I want to kind of keep it around the red without turning it into ketchup. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting because I don't know if this is going to ruin it or not, but I'm going to take my catalyst, get it a little wet, and I'm going to start making some interesting marks up in here. I'm going to try to stay out of the red a little bit. And this is just kind of like a base. This is not going to be the final thing. I don't want these lines all over in it, but this is just going to kind of help me spread it out a little without being too mixy. There we go. And then what I'll probably do, I probably want to use this actually, but it is a mess. Let me see if I can get that moved off. You love it? Yay! Get as much of that off as I can, but I make no guarantees. All right, let me grab a paper towel. This whole one-handed thing is for the birds, you guys. No offense to anybody who only has one hand. All right. Now, this should be interesting. I'm going to grab some of this and we're going to just... There we go. Okay. Okay. It's looking a little ketchup and mustard, but we can fix it. There we go. And I think the magic here is going to be when we do the next layer, having more areas of precision on that red. Let me get this cleaned off a little bit better. There we go. Okay. So I kind of like the way this is going thus far. Kind of. I do want to do just a little bit more before I hit it with the heat gun. And I think what I'm going to do is grab some more of this and just kind of texturize a little bit more of this into here. And some of this, because I don't want to lose too much of that darkness. Okay. One other thing I might like to try, this could ruin it, but we're just gonna go with it, you guys, because this is all about... Jen McPole's in the house! One more thing that might ruin this, but I'm okay with trying because we're all about having fun here, is I want to leave this area of intensity because I like that. Good morning, Jen. How are you this morning? I'm going to lightly drag and drag and drag and drag. Okay, that's not too bad. There we go. Jen, were you the one that commissioned me to do the hummingbird? I am trying desperately to remember who commissioned me to do the hummingbird. I am working on a hot mess. It's we're playing with acrylic today on this flat piece of canvas that I think I got from Ross. It might have been from like Five Below or something. And I'm in my pajamas today. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're working on today. All right, let me hit this with the heat gun. Oh, and we used the Palette Scout to come up with our color palette. It wasn't, but now I wish I was. I want to see this hummingbird. I'll show you the hummingbird. For some reason, I can't remember who it was that commissioned it on one of my lives. This is the hummingbird. I haven't finished it yet, but I still need to do this background area. And I went back to try to find the transcript, and I can't seem to get the transcript. I didn't end up saying the person's name when I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely do it. And so I can't remember who did it. I've messaged a few people that I thought it might be. Thank you. And I'm like, I know it was one of my regulars, but I can't for the life of me remember who it was. So now when I see a regular, thank you, Laurel. When I see my regulars that I haven't seen it since that live, which was like last Thursday, I'm like, oh, let me ask them just in case. I'm going to have to start like, have you seen my regular who commissioned the hummingbird? The wanted poster. Yep. This little blobby here is going to take forever to dry, so we're not going to worry about that one drying. Lori's back. Bethany, hello, good morning. We got lots of people up in here today. I think the Tiki-Taki lords have forgiven me for putting my hand on wet paint and banning me for a week. Yeah, that did happen, you guys. I could tell you story time. I don't know if Lenny is still here, but we were talking about FUPAs. Yep, she's here. No way, Lori. No way. Rub it in my face that you have a job. Just kidding. Yeah, so Lenny's funny. Again, if you're just now joining, Lenny. Oh, Bethany, that's so sweet. Lenny is hilarious. She's my sister-in-law. And she was like, draw me like one of your French girls. I know, people just like to listen to me while they work, apparently. And so Lindsay sends in the chat, draw me like one of your French girls from Titanic. So at the time we had been talking about FUPAs, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically like a front butt. You know what that is. A lot of women who have had babies who get stretched out in their tummies have it. I had it, and then I had it removed. But apparently if I say that on TikTok, I can get banned. So anyway, I jokingly made a mark on a piece of paper. And I said, there you go. and we joked that it was her FUPA. And then when I was showing how to watercolor a peony, I almost put my hand in it like it was wet. And yes, thank you, Bethany, exactly. I just can't say it because I might get banned again. And I said, oh, I almost put my hand in Lindsay's FUPA, and I immediately got my live shut down for bullying and harassment, and I appealed it, and they upheld it. So I literally got banned for putting my hand in wet paint for 5 days. Almost putting my hand in wet paint for 5 days. Toolbox. I love that. I know, and I even contacted their ticketing support system. They wouldn't do anything about it. They didn't care. I'm like, great, now my engagement's going to go to basically 0. Not that it really matters, but, I mean, it does, because, you know, I still like chatting with people in the mornings. And let's face it, it's not like I get paid the big bucks to do this. I get, like, maybe 2 cents if I'm lucky, you know? But it's just like, come on. Come on. But I think they've forgiven me because I feel like just in the last week, I know, for bullying and harassment. Like, really? I know. I get that too. Somehow I have not lately, though, even though I'm constantly talking about stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever. There's my little thumbprint. Excellent. I haven't been, so I'm like, okay. But just in the last week, I feel like when my ban got lifted, it wasn't this past Monday. It was the Monday before that. And like it was slow for like a day or two. And then after that, it's like people started finding me on the FYP, and like suddenly I have more than 2 people watching, and like I have like 300 people coming in throughout my live, which is like, it was maybe 100 at best. So I'm like, okay, I can get used to this. People want to watch. People want to watch. I must be pretty cool. I'm such a dork. All right. So now we've got this kind of undercurrent here. Now I'm going to start doing blobbies. I like the blobbies. I'll probably end up smoothing them out because that's what I usually end up doing. But I like kind of just doing this little patchwork sort of situation because it doesn't concentrate everything to like one particular spot. And then let's take this guy and we're going to do some blobbies over here and around here. Probably bring in some shimmer shimmer because you guys know how much I love my glitter glitter. All right. Let's see here. I finally changed my account to creator and just put the things I used in shopping cart. Yeah, I don't even bother with the business account. I did that long ago, like when I actually was a business, and learned from my mistakes. All right. Oh, I see someone named Jack joined. It better not be the same Jack that I banned that my fan club is named after. All right. Now we're going to smooth this out like Ken's smooth area. Let's see what we get. Do tell, why didn't you like the business account? I feel like they don't push your content out the way that they do for just regular accounts. And you have to jump through hoops just to sell your stuff, and you can't affiliate unless you have a lot more followers, and it's a lot harder to get followers. It's been 13 years since I last did something in middle school. It's frustrating for sure. I'm not a business, just trying to have fun with my art. Exactly. Exactly. My thing is just trying to do the influencer thing on Amazon because I need some money. I mean, don't we all, right? All right, now I'm going to take this palette knife and start smearing this across. I don't have any rhyme or reason here, guys. Just saying. I just want to see what is going to come of this. I find it fun to kind of just see what kind of patterns and textures come out of it. I'm going to use the red last because, like I said, I don't really want it to come out, you know, muddy. What I might also do is just drop Bethany. The one about it's been 13 years since I last did something in middle school. I did see that, and I thought you just meant making a mess in something artistic like this. Maybe I missed something. It's possible I missed something. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm liking this, guys. I'm liking this a lot. Now, let me wipe off this guy. Oh, you need to know the Jack story? I'll tell you the Jack story. Oh, yes, I did miss that comment. Anything with oil pastels and remembering how tricky they can be. Yeah, I do have oil pastels. I've done a couple of really beautiful ones, but they are very tricky and they do make me angry frequently. Okay, so I'm going to keep doing this and I'm also going to tell the Jack story at the same time. And we're just going to hope that this turns out nice. All right, so Jack story time. So on one of my first couple of lives, I was joking, and again, I'm pretty sure Lindsay was on this one, with how people are making money these days selling pictures of their feet and doing like fart in a jar and that sort of thing. And so the this guy, Jack, gets on and does the whole I'm gonna bless the first 5 people who you know, message me or whatever garbage. And I was like, you can get up out of here and you know, this isn't the place for you to be, blah blah blah, and you know, you can see yourself out or whatever. And then as a joke, I said, he wants to bless people by paying their bills because he said like he would pay their bills for something. I was like, I'm an unemployed freeloader. You can pay my bills. Maybe I'll send you a picture of my FEET. Again, not trying to get banned right here because that could happen. And he reported my account and I immediately got shut down for sexual content. And I had to appeal that. And yeah. So that's what happened there. That was annoying. So we named the fan club Jack because that was my first violation ever. Luckily, they overturned the appeal, so I didn't have to gripe about that one for too long. And yeah. So I named him Jack. And that was when we were doing this one piece of art that we were doing some, I know I have it somewhere. I think it's over there, but my hands are dirty, so I can't grab it. But we were doing this thing where we were doing collage work and we had painted some acrylic onto a piece of paper and then used the heat gun to dry it. So a bunch of blisters showed up in it. And like, it was Easter weekend, right? And right? Like you would know that. It was Easter weekend and the blisters came up and it literally made like what looked like a person with a giant butt wearing bunny ears where one was up and one was like lopped over. And so we were joking before I got banned that it was going to be called If You Know, You Know, because we decided to leave that we were going to use that strip of collage paper in the painting because it's like an inside joke now between me and this, you know, my people that were on that live. But then after that happened, I was like, you guys, I think we need to call this If You Know, You Know Jack, because that's when it happened. And so I had to get back on another live and finish it out there. So that painting is now called If You Know, You Know Jack. But yeah. I don't know how much I like this, you guys. I feel like this is too empty, but I feel like this is all too much. Like I really love these colors together, but I don't love it when I look at it like this, and I don't know why. But I'm afraid if I do anything else to it, it's just going to mix and look like mud. What do you think? Happy accidents? Yeah, if you know, you know, Jack. Exactly. I know I usually say the whole thing with the, anytime I hear that stupid, or I hear the word lightning or thunder, I always think of that stupid song, Lightning and a Thunder. But I'm looking at this and I'm going, ketchup and a mustard. I'm so stupid. You love it? Should I leave it? I mean, maybe if we turn it this way, then it doesn't look so, I don't know, maybe pull this out a little further. I don't know. Should I just leave it? I need votes. I need you guys to decide what, if anything, should I do with this. Do I leave it alone? Let it dry? What do you guys think? Let it be. Let it be. Cece's mom's like, gold! Charlene says, love it. It's beautiful. Maybe a smear of dark in that bigger section. Yeah, I was kind of thinking that too. Clean my gloved hand. What's a magpie? I thought about doing gold, but now I'm looking at it and like it feels so busy that I feel like gold is just gonna get lost in it. But I'm also like, if I put dark in here, I'm gonna have to smear it this way to go with the flow. And I don't want to accidentally get it in any of this. I don't know. Oh, you know, maybe I can take, here, we'll just do this. Take this, maybe add a little bit of some of this dark as like a texture. Nope. How about that? How about I don't know? Catch me outside. Oh, duh. I'm a dork. I knew that. I'm such a bird lady. How did I not catch that that's what you meant? All right. I think this one's good. I'm just going to move this off to the side because now we're going to use the rest of this because I don't like to waste. Okay. So I got this one. This is probably not going to like look good or anything, but I really just don't even care, you guys and gals, or just all gals, or whatever you want to identify as. All right, we're just smearing crap around. Okay, shoot. Isn't there that lady, Josie Lewis, who gets crap for using so much paint because she does this kind of stuff? Laurel, I have been doing art my entire life. I'm one of those annoying people that can like pick up art or music and have it be something that you would think I've been doing forever. Now, if you try to get me to do something math, I will fail horribly. I'm not a precision person. So, Make and Bloom, Miss Natalie just hit, I watched your live for 300 minutes. Okay, shoot, let's do a celebration. Congratulations, Natalie. She has hit 300 watch minutes. Can you believe that somebody has given me 300 minutes of their time? That's insane to me. You guys are incredible. Gals, guys, whoever, you're incredible. Thank you so, so much for spending so much of your time with me. Amazing. Amazing. Yow. See, she's a jack. She's a jack. Laurel says, I just started drawing a couple of years ago. I woke up one morning and I was like, I knew what to do. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it starts. This is going to turn into a muddy mess with what I'm about to do because, well, I thought I would have more left over and I don't. Oh, wait, I have some right here. I can add to it. Ooh, that's kind of pretty, you guys. Yeah, I don't do precision work well. I know my limitations there. I love abstract. I love mixed media. I love shiny things, like Taylor says. I like shiny things, but I'd marry you with paper rings. That's right, darling. Now, for those of you who are not Swifties, don't talk to me because I already know you're not Swifties. I already know you're not going to get it. For some reason, I attract people that are not Swifties. Whatever. And if you got to go to the Eras Tour and you're not a Swiftie, whatever. I guess we can still be friends. We can still be ticky-talkies. I kind of just like that little hole in the middle with that. I don't know why. Have you ever seen used Ember Lily paint? I have never seen it or heard of it, much less used it. I like what's happening here, and I want more of that to be happening elsewhere. And I don't know how to get it to do that except to not continue blending in this ugly muddy mess. So what if I was able to scrape some more of this crap off? Nope. What if, see, this is where the playtime comes in that I like. What if we do some of this and then we grab some of this. Oh, this one's the one that's constipated. I am not, but I do love the perfume that's no longer available. The Red Wonder Structure Enchanted. Never knew about any of the perfumes because I don't really wear perfume. I have a bunch of them that I've had for years, but yeah. Close. Okay. Now let's add some of this. This is gonna be like so messy and fun, you guys. And I'm not gonna cover that one up. My gosh. I mean, is it really fun if you don't make a mess? Well, I'm just saying. Sorry, not sorry. I'm only going to add a little yellow because I don't want a ton of it. You should check her out. She makes the most magnificent, sparkly color shifting paints. Okay. Can you do me a favor and DM me that name, because this chat goes away the second this is over, and I will most certainly forget the name. I've already forgotten it, and I have not written it down, and my hands are too messy to write it down at the moment. So if you wouldn't mind DMing me that information, that would be great. And if for whatever reason you can't, it won't let you DM me, let me know. and I'll write it down before we get off. Okay, you guys, you see this? Let's just see what we do. I'm not going to cover this up because I like it too much, but let's see. Ooh, ooh, I like that. Ooh. Got to make the sound effects though. Ooh, Okay, it's going to start becoming a muddy mess, so I got to be careful with how I choose to, you know, smear it around now. Let's, how should I do this? I don't know. I'm thinking just, you know, easy. Okay, you guys, this is so dumb looking. There we go. Muddy mess. That was fun. This is going to take like a week to dry. I don't think I'm done with it. I think after it dries, I'm going to have to do something to it. But there we go. This is ridiculous. There we go. I'm going to set this down off to the side over here. Okay. Seriously. What's up? So much for that glove helping out. You know what I mean? Okay, shoot. I guess I should leave that on because, well, I need to clean up this mess still. This was fun, you guys. What do you think? I know it's not the greatest masterpiece ever, but I had fun. Got to use the Zollie palette. Got to make a mess. Got to meet some new people and chit chat. And I mean, look, we made such a mess. I love it. Thanks. I think it's cool too. I don't know where I'm going to put this that it's going to dry for a week. The other one's probably already going to be dry by like the afternoon. But yeah, this was so much fun. I want to know from you guys, because I have a good mix of you that are new and a good mix of you that have been around a while. What do you want to see more of? Because I feel like I do a lot of watercolor, but I do a lot of stuff. Like I crochet, I watercolor, I embroider, I do card making, I do graphic design, I do surface design, I do alcohol ink apparently. Oh, let me show you guys that because some of you weren't here at the beginning for that. So this is the one we did yesterday that I cut down into the 8x10 size that some of you wanted to see today after I cut it down from yesterday's. Thank you, Charlene. And thank you, Cece. And then I did my first Amazon live yesterday. So I'm going to do that today too. See if I can get some shoppable videos going over there. But I did this one yesterday. This one's a mixed media using watercolor, acrylic, and ink pen. Card making tips. Okay. I did some card making on 2 videos maybe it's like a week and some change ago. And I ended up sending them out, one to one of my followers here that I've gotten somewhat close with, and another one to my bestie. And then I still have this I need to finish. I stopped going live in the evenings for now, but I was still planning to do maybe twice a week. I just haven't figured out the schedule because we're still finishing out the kids' they're all still finishing out their seasons. And I think one of my daughters has one more practice tonight and a game on Saturday, and then we'll kind of have a good rhythm for what we're going to do over the week. Yeah, the modeling paste. So I still need to finish this, and I promised my night crew I would hold on to this for them because I still need to put a flower here, and I still need to paint the modeling paste. So this is still on the agenda. And then I still need to finish that Hummingbird. And then Smile, who is not on here today, at least I don't think she is, she wanted to have me do a peacock like that Hummingbird, like that, oh my gosh, dragonfly that you all saw probably sometime in the last week. So just, you know, stuff to finish, but I just want to know what you guys want to see, because I feel like I'm always just getting on here painting every day. Not that I'm out of ideas, because I always have ideas, but I also want to show what it is that you want to see, what you might want to learn, what you might want to ask questions about, so that this is also beneficial for you. So now I think I saw a question. Laurel says, I believe I will become one of your regulars. Excellent. I love regulars. Make and Bloom is Natalie. Natalie says, how do you do Amazon Live? Girlfriend, I'm trying to figure that out. Charlene says ditto. Charlene, I think you've already become one of my regulars, because you're a Jack now. I see it next to your name, right? So Amazon Live, I'm still trying to figure that out. I did my first one yesterday, and let me tell you the thing that I haven't figured out. I swear I read somewhere that you're not supposed to mention the brand names of the things that you're using, because they can change. But that doesn't make sense to me, because isn't the whole point to try to sell what you're using on Amazon to the people that are watching you on Amazon? So I did a little watching on YouTube last night after I got in bed. Close. And basically, I still haven't figured it out. It seems like you're supposed to have some sort of carousel that's supposed to show up during your live. And I don't know if you make that beforehand, like, because you know maybe what you're doing, or if you're supposed to add it during the live. I was using the phone up here for my live. I will tell you what Jack means in a second, Charlene. I don't think you were here for story time for that one. I don't know if there's a way to do it on my computer so I can kind of control that while, like right now, you can see me talking because I'm using my laptop using TikTok Live Studio there. And then I add a second camera, which I'm using my iPhone up here for. But I don't know if they have that option for Amazon Live, but it would certainly be helpful, because then they can see what I'm doing here, but then I can be adding the products here. But I don't know if you can do that during Amazon Live. So I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. I'm going to spend some time with it after I get off this live and try to figure that out. I have been saying for a while that if you guys want a video, or if you want me to do a live to talk about like the Amazon influencer program, to kind of talk about how I've figured out what I've figured out so far, I'm happy to do that. I did try to do one once and nobody showed up. Not like ragging on you guys or anything for that, but just like, everybody has a job, everybody has a life, everybody has stuff to do. So if that's something you're interested in, I'm happy to get on and do that, even talking like in the morning, since that's when you guys tend to get on and see me. But I'm certainly no expert, and Amazon did change something like a week and a half ago that everybody's really mad about. But because I'm only just now getting into it, it doesn't really affect me, because like they essentially slashed commissions. Lori says work keeps interrupting me. Yeah, I can do that. I actually did make it an event before. Okay, let me ask you this, since I have 10 people on here now. Would you like this to be something that I talk about in one of my morning lives like this? Instead of doing the art, we just get on here and do a Q&A about it? Or would you like it to be a separate event that I do like after this? Both. Laurel says, now I have Jack next to my name too. Whatever works for you. Okay. So how about this? So normally I would love to talk on it while doing art, but I have a hard time talking about it and doing art because I'm focused on all the other little aspects of it. And I think it would be easier for me to just talk about it, if that makes sense. Like when I'm doing art, I'm usually trying to kind of explain what I'm doing. And yeah, I can talk about little things, but like Amazon influencer is such an in-depth thing and there's so many little nuances and caveats to it that it's hard for me to like brain hand to paper and talk about all the little things at the same time. So, but if you want, I can still show like something like this and you can just stare at it instead of at me. Okay. Well, I mean, since you're all here now, I'm happy to talk about it now. If you give me a second to go wash my hand. I don't know what you guys have going on, but I'm happy to talk about it now. Yeah, I could do that too. All right. I'm going to go wash my hands. Show of hands, or not show of hands, show of comments while I'm gone. If you want me to talk about it now, just put like now in the comments. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see. Doesn't matter to me. I've got more laundry to do, so I'm sat. Me. I'm getting ready for work, so I'll stay on as long as I can. I'm just painting, LOL. All right. I'll talk about it now for those of you that are on. If you want to jump off because you've got things to do, totally fine. I'm not going to do any more art demonstration now, so if you want to just listen in instead of watching, you can do that and know that you're not missing anything. And if I say anything that gets me kicked off of TikTok, you don't have to worry about missing any of the art stuff either. So let me start from the very beginning. For those of you who don't know what the Amazon Influencer Program is, it's basically like any other influencer program. Essentially, you are selling for Amazon. And the way that that works is you sign up for Amazon Associates. And if you have the ability to do Amazon Influencer, you have to apply for it and be accepted into it. And then you can essentially make videos to post to your social media that has an affiliate link to an item that you're talking about. And if somebody purchases that item through your affiliate link, you get a cut of the commission. Now, one of the things that Amazon does is they have two different things. Excuse me. They have the Amazon Associates, which is like what a lot of people used to do back when blogging was huge and like coupon blogging and all that stuff. And they'd have like a sidebar where they would have like their favorite things and they would all be like affiliate links to things on Amazon. So a lot of people have that, but they don't have the Amazon Influencer Program because they kind of phased into that. And so right now with the Amazon Influencer Program, the only way to get a storefront on Amazon where you can then add idea lists, media lists, and record videos for items to post offsite to Amazon, or for Amazon products with your affiliate link, is to apply for the affiliate program or the influencer program. The way that that works is very muddy, and this is why it's so frustrating for a lot of people. They don't necessarily have set information published online for what you have to have in order to be approved for the influencer program. You can apply as many times as you want in a day and throughout your lifespan, until you get approved. There's no lines, no waiting on that. You just do it until you're approved. Now, there are guesses, and everybody's is a little bit different. But what I have been told and what I have read is that it is easiest to get approved through TikTok. Because supposedly, hi Cat Mama, you are joining at just the right time. Because I am talking about Amazon Influencer now that our art demonstration is done. And essentially you have to have a certain follower count on those. But apparently through TikTok, it's not the follower count. It has to do with the amount of engagement that you have. But again, those are not published anywhere. So it's all just kind of a guessing game. And so when you go and, yes, good going. Thank you. So when you go and you look at these Reddit forums or you Google stuff or you listen to somebody on YouTube, it's all a guessing game. And so sometimes I feel like they're accurate. Sometimes they're not. I've heard on Instagram that you need 2,000 followers. I've heard on TikTok you need 1,000, but that's not true because I was approved with less than 1,000. Supposedly with TikTok, it's all about having a high engagement rate. So let me tell you what I did with TikTok. I thought the only way I'm going to get a high engagement rate is by going live. And the only way I'm going to be able to go live for any length of time is to do art. And I mean, I've been doing art for years. I used to try to be an art person on Instagram and it never really went anywhere. And so, you know, I just kind of moved on from that. And I was like, you know what, let's just go back to doing this and we'll do it on TikTok. So now, mind you, I do have an Instagram that has like 805 followers, but trying to get followers over on Instagram is really difficult. And doing follow for follow is not my cup of tea. Like, I just don't like that sort of thing. That being said, however, I have done a couple of grow rooms here on TikTok, one of which I have met several of you through and have become TikTok friends with you. And we support each other and it's awesome. And really what I have found is that with TikTok, the secret is not in going live. So I met a lot of you through going live, but the secret is actually in doing videos for your feed that get engagement. So when I started my TikTok, it was many years ago. I was doing art markets, selling my woodwork, my resin work, basically anything that I was doing that was handmade, but primarily woodwork and resin work. And, you know, I would post videos, you would see my process videos and things like that. They'd maybe get, you know, 100 or so views or whatever, but nobody was ever commenting or anything. And then I kind of just let it die for a while. Then when I decided to try for the Amazon Influencer program, a friend had told me that she had done it and she was having some good results with it. Cat Mama says getting more views means money for TikTok. Maybe. I know it doesn't mean more money for me, but and I'll get to the money aspect of it too, just to kind of let you know where I stand between both as I get further along in this. But so I think it was about 75 followers on TikTok. It might have been 125. I can't remember if it was like 125 after I started like following people and they followed me back, or if I started with 75 and then I started like, you know, posting regularly and got up to 125 and then started going live. It's a little fuzzy to me. I don't remember. Either way, let's just say it was about 100 followers on TikTok. Then I started going live and all of a sudden I had all these people coming onto my lives. It was great. And I'm like, ooh, TikTok's really pushing me. This is wonderful. And so I got a lot of followers really fast that way. But it turns out that none of that had anything to do with what Amazon Influencer was looking for. What they actually wanted to see was me posting on my feed regularly and getting people to engage with that. And what they like to see is not just the hearts. They want to see comments and saves, like, you know, the little bookmark thing. So what I started doing, and this is actually what got me approved, and I got approved in 2 weeks. So from the time I started doing lives on TikTok to the time I got approved on Instagram, or I'm sorry, on Amazon Influencer. It was exactly 2 weeks. And mind you, I hadn't done anything with my TikTok prior to that. So like my TikTok was basically dead prior to that point. So I think they also wanted to see that I had a TikTok that was active for at least 2 weeks. I started recording brief videos on how to easily watercolor certain things, like watercolor a leaf, watercolor a simple flower, that sort of thing. And so that started getting a lot of comments and saves. And once I had 3 of those up, I got approved. So, yes, the engagement. See, I don't know if engagement equals money. You say TikTok gets percentage of sales, but I haven't had any sales. That's the thing. Like, just because they have views doesn't mean they have sales. So you can't get a TikTok shop until you've hit 1,000 followers. And then you get like an abbreviated TikTok shop, essentially. And then once you get 5,000 followers, you can have like the full-blown TikTok shop thingy. But I'm not like going for TikTok shop, although maybe I'll try for that at some point, because really my goal is brand deals. I want to do brand deals. And Amazon Influencer is a way to get there, but I'll save that for another time. So I get into Amazon Influencer, but there are a couple different things that you have to do. So when you're first approved for Amazon Influencer, see, I'm at 5K, but my videos suck. LOL, no engagement. Jen, you have to have 3,500 followers for 3,500 for the full-blown TikTok shop. Yeah, I have read, and my thing says 5,000. I don't know where the 3,500 comes from, but mine says 5,000. So once you get approved for Amazon Influencer, you can start doing off-site videos that go on your storefront. So you can set up a storefront on Amazon, and then you can start filming your videos and posting them off-site and getting commissions for those. The other side of it is that there's something called on-site commissions. And this is where a lot of people are really mad right now, because it used to be that your videos, well, first of all, you have to apply in addition to the Amazon Influencer program, and you have to have 3 videos that you submit to the on-site commissions part of the program that then get reviewed by Amazon. And if they approve those 3 videos, then you can just keep adding videos to your storefront that can be placed for Amazon on-site commissions. And that's when you're shopping on Amazon, you see a product, sometimes it says like product description, it has a drop down, then videos, and then it has a drop down, and that's like a carousel of videos. So that's a lot of times where they'll place these videos. And if somebody watches your video and then buys it, you get commission on that. People were making thousands of dollars a month just in on-site commissions alone. Well, Amazon just dropped that commission. It used to be like a base, I think, of like a 10% commission. Don't quote me on that. I think it was 10%, to like now basically 2 and 4% commission. So people's income has dropped significantly overnight because of just that on-site commission. And that's the thing. People got comfortable doing on-site commission and thinking that their income was like guaranteed for that. But they didn't focus on off-site commission, which pays a minimum of 10%. And so their income drops significantly. And now they're just kind of like, I'm frustrated. I don't know what to do, blah, 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 blah. And they haven't built a following anywhere else. So now they're scrambling to try to figure out what to do. So there's a couple of different ways you can go about this. When I signed up and I got approved for Amazon Influencer, the first thing I did was do the storefront. So I set that up, added a few idea lists, which is basically where like you have a list, you name it something, and then you add a list of products to it that fit with your idea. So like, for example, I have one that are like my favorite lathe items, which then has a bunch of items that I use when I do wood turning. And then I think I posted a picture of a painting that I did, and then I list all the items I used to make that painting. And so then while I was doing those things, I applied for the on-site commissions, filmed my 3 videos, and then submitted that to Amazon and waited. It was about a week or so for them to approve those 3 videos. And then once those were approved and I knew that I had been accepted into the program for on-site, then it was like a mad dash to try to get my first 100 videos. I finally finished getting those uploaded yesterday. But here's a couple things, just in case any of you are interested in going that route. Oh, I think I'm missing some. Hang on. Products to try. Those are like, I think they changed 5 to 3.5 recently. I saw some videos about it. Oh, she said, I'm so proud of Jen. Rate of percentage. Go, Jen. Oh, thank you, Cat Mama. Yeah, she's been sending me stuff, and I've been watching every single one, trying to implement every single one to see what works. Thank you. Ta-da. It goes all the way up and to there. Okay, so when you upload the videos, there are a couple of things they want to see. Number one, they want it to be, they want you to speak clearly. They want it to be horizontal, although it can be vertical. I submitted 2 horizontal and 1 vertical. And they want you to basically just talk about the product in less than a minute. And you can't make claims about it that aren't scientifically backed. So like if you're doing, say, vitamins, you can't say, this will grow your hair longer in 6 months. Instead, you can say, these are vitamins that include vitamin A, B, C, whatever, and then say, yeah, and then say they taste, like if they're gummy, say they have a nice flavor to them, they're soft to chew, and I've been happy with them since I began using them, and then that's it. Now, one thing I've also discovered just in my hit and miss kind of things here is that when you do upload your videos, and this is not to get approved, this is just in general, when you're trying to get to those first 100 videos, is sit down and batch them. Don't worry about making pretty thumbnails because that doesn't make a difference. I have some with pretty thumbnails, doesn't make a difference. It just slows you down. Second, you don't have to show your face. However, sometimes it helps to show your face, and I'll tell you why. There is something part of the influencer program that is called creator commissions. And this is why it gets so sticky. So you have off-site commissions, which is where you post your videos off-site. People find it, click it, buy it, you get off-site commissions. You have on-site commissions where people see your video on the actual Amazon listing, they click it, they buy it, you get commission, but it's less than what you get for off-site. Then you have creator connections. Creator connections is essentially a place where brands have campaigns over and above what's already out there that will pay you commissions over and above for selling a particular item. So let me tell you an example. So that float video that I posted, you can reach out to these brands on Creator Connections when they post in Creator Connections, and it'll show you a date range that says this campaign is available from this date to this date. We're going to pay an extra, say, 15% to people who post videos to wherever and sell these, and you can request a sample here. So if you request the sample, it sends a message to them, and sometimes they get back to you, sometimes they don't. Actually, I'd say most of the time they don't. Sometimes you'll request a sample and it'll just show up at your door and they won't have responded to you. Other times they'll say, sorry, we're only working with, so many, or we only have so many samples to send out, and, you're just not a big enough fish to fry right now. And that's totally fine. And always be professional about it. Be kind, that sort of thing. So for example, with the float, I saw this float and I was like, okay, I'm going to request a sample. I joined the campaign, requested the sample. They sent a response back saying, yes, we'd love to work with you, but please make sure you show somebody who is having fun with the float. Okay, sounds great. They send it to me. I make the video, and then I upload it to my storefront. I uploaded it to Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Pinterest. And then I grab all 5 of those links. I go back into Creator Connections to that active campaign, and I list all of those links in that campaign. And if I post it again and again and again on any of those social medias, I take those links and I continue to put them there. And then if anybody finds those and purchases through any of those links, then you will get additional commission on top of whatever the commission is for that item. So for the float, for example, I don't remember the exact commission. I think it's 15%. So let's say they are on Amazon and they see the listing for this float and they scroll down, they see my video. They're like, oh my gosh, she's doing the salmon test and it's amazing. We're going to buy this float. Then let's say pool supplies is only a 2% commission on Amazon. Then I would get that 2% commission plus the creator commission of 15% on top of that. If they saw the float on my Pinterest, for example, and they clicked onto it to go buy it on Amazon, that would be a 10% commission plus the creator connection fee, commission of 15% for a total of 25% commission. Do you see what I mean? So, and those campaigns only last a certain period of time. So the idea is to really involve yourself in those creator commissions so that you're earning additional commission on top of whatever it is that you're trying to get commission on. So I think what Amazon is doing here by cutting the commissions on the on-site commissions as much as they have is to really try to force sellers to going into the creator commissions. Now, I did hear that there were some issues that they have forced on the creator connection side with the businesses. Like, I think they're like digging further into the company's profits or the seller's profits, whatever. I don't honestly know because I'm not on that side. So I don't know what's happening over there. But here's what I do know. What I know is that if there is an avenue to make money, it is your job as the creator to explore if it works for you. So they have the avenue of Amazon Live. I'm going to explore to find out if that's going to make money, because why not? There's a lot of people who won't show their faces because they feel like they need to get made up for the camera, or they don't like the way they look, or they're afraid people are going to make fun of them. Whatever it is, I don't give a crap. I don't give a crap that I'm a chunky, middle-aged white lady who has frizzies around her hair and doesn't care to wear makeup day in and day out. I just don't care. Like, this is me. Take me or leave me. If you don't like it, see ya. So yeah, I don't mind going live. I don't mind showing my face. I'll do it. But there's plenty of people who won't. And maybe that gives me a leg up. Another thing that I'm doing is making an influencer media kit. I hate calling myself an influencer. It's such a dirty word to me. I hate it. But, Jen, you look good and are real. Thanks. And Jen says, I want to not care. It's easy. Once you just do it, you just do it. And then you just don't care. Excuse me. And so if that gives me a leg up, that's great. So the next thing that I'm doing is putting together, let's see, Laurel says, you should save this whole clip about this topic. You explain it so well and makes sense. Thank you. I'm going to try that tonight. You should. And you know what? If you go live tonight on TikTok, will you do me a favor and send me a link? Or just send me a DM letting me know what time so I can put an alarm on my phone so I can try to join in and support you. I'd love to do that. And then, so yeah, let me reframe my thought here because I can't remember what I was doing. Oh, so, Jen can use filters like one influencer I watch. Send me a link to Charlene. Jen, you are awesome. I'm going to run for now. See you later. Bye, Charlene. Thank you so much for joining and listening and hanging out with us this morning. I love that you've become a Jack. So thank you. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the Jack story. I'll tell you, I won't be on tomorrow because I'm chaperoning my son's field trip, but I'll tell you on Friday if you remind me. I have a friend that needs to hear your experience. She would be a great candidate for all. You know, maybe there's a way for me to like record something like this and post it to TikTok. I don't know. I'll try. I don't know. Or maybe I can post this like section of this live to my YouTube, because I usually try to post the replays to my YouTube. I'm just behind, as always. Okay, so back to the Amazon stuff. So Amazon Live, still trying to figure that out. But I feel like because so many people are self-conscious about everything about themselves, they're not willing to go live. I am. I don't mind. I'm only showing my hands as of now because I don't know how to do it like this. So whatever. But I'll figure that out. The other thing is a lot of people don't know this, but you can open multiple storefronts with Amazon. So by multiple storefronts, I mean you have your storefront in the US. You can also open one in Canada, in the UK, and in Australia. Now, I personally have found that a lot of the items that I use are not available in those countries. But I use something called Oink for Influencers. And that is, I think, $25 a month or something like that. And what it does is it goes through my listings and it will show me which items I have videos for that are available in those countries so that I can then go and create those videos in those storefronts so that I can be earning additional income in those countries on those storefronts. Still working on those because it is a lot of, you know, there's a lot of moving pieces when you start talking about like, oh, you're not just uploading to Amazon US, you're uploading to YouTube and Pinterest and Instagram. And now you're also doing a UK storefront, an Australia storefront, and a Canada storefront. So it can feel like a lot. And now you're going to add Amazon Live. Oh, and by the way, you're neglecting your other business. So it does get tiring. But I'm just trying to see what works, you know? So let me backtrack just a little bit because I want to tell you a little bit about how TikTok fits into all of this for me and the income that I have thus far. Laurel says she has so many of the elements you mentioned already in place. Okay, good. If you would be open to DM questions and then do an FAQ sometime. Absolutely. And then gifts here help Jen here. Yeah. So I would say when I first started doing the TikTok and started getting gifts, I wasn't really sure what that was at first, but actually Meredith from, oh my gosh, Crafted by Curiosity. She was the first one to ever give me a gift. It made me cry because it was just such a like overwhelming feeling, I guess, at the time. And anyway, love her. And I've been doing live TikToks pretty much every day. I was doing 2 and 3 times a day at one point because I wanted to see where the majority of my watchers were from and, you know, just what time of day I was going to get the most bang for my buck. And by bang for my buck, I don't mean the most income. I mean the most viewers. Because why am I going to go on at night and do another, you know, demo if 2 people are going to watch? It just doesn't make sense. So what I found was morning is where I get the most people watching. And I think I've made $11 total from TikTok. And yes, I have, Cat Mama. And so like, for example, right now, TikTok Studio says for this live, I've been live for almost 2 hours. I've earned 1 penny. 1 penny, right? And that's fine. Like I'm not doing this to earn money through gifts. Is it nice? Absolutely. But I also recognize that the limitations of TikTok are such that unless I'm constantly begging you guys to send gifts, then it's not going to be lucrative. And I'm not going to be shaking you guys down for money every day that I go live. That is not cool. And that is not why I'm doing this anyway. Laurel says, I made 22 cents last week. Amazing, right? So the other thing is that I do have the TikTok shop, but the TikTok shop, I think they take like, the commissions are pretty small, but I think the overall majority, they take like 60% of whatever you try to sell. So if I were to sell my paintings through here, or if I were to try to auction my paintings through their auction service, like you can go live and do like an auction, which I've considered doing of all these paintings that I've been making, they take 60%. And that's a lot of money because I still have to ship it, right? Like you're providing me the platform, I get that, but you're still taking more than half. And then I still have to ship it over and above that. So it's a lot to think about letting go of 60%. Like that's a lot. So, you know, when it comes to TikTok strategy, here's where my mind is. My mind is I meet amazing people. I have a great community. I get to do art every day, and that really feeds my soul. And I feel like it feeds your soul too. I don't use WhatsApp. I don't care to. It's just another thing I would have to learn. Yeah, 60%. That is insane. It's absolutely insane. So I'm just like, no, like, no. And so, but I see these people that go live with like their t-shirts and they're auctioning them off, and like people, like they'll start the bidding at $1. I'm like, what happens if somebody bids $10 on this shirt and like after 15 seconds, it's still only sitting at $10 and you still have to ship it? Like that's still going to cost a pretty penny. And then TikTok is taking 60% of that. That's a lot. Like what is even the point, you know? Yeah. And I would say that if I am going to do something like that, I would do it here on TikTok just because you guys have been here the whole time supporting me and making this art with me. And I will be honest, unless I'm commissioned for a piece, I have not sold my originals because I have held on to them way too preciously. Maybe. Yeah. But actually, you know what, Jen? I don't think that's true. And the reason is because my sister-in-law, Lindsay, she has gone on there to bid on stuff that she wanted. And you can't enter a bid unless your credit card information is in there, because I think it charges you right away. But I'm not totally sure how all that works. So anyway, that's what I've currently made on TikTok. Like I said, I do have a TikTok shop. I have not really promoted anything in it. I don't know that I will. We'll see. I'm not saying never. Another thing that TikTok has tried to, another way to monetize TikTok that I have done is they have these campaigns that you can participate in for going live, like the Tiny Diny. And like if you go live 5 days in a row, they'll give you a little bonus. It's not much, but it's like maybe 10 cents. Yeah, you have to set up your payment while an item is up. Click the settings gear on item up for bid. Yeah. And then, there are other things like right now for me, TikTok has been really pushing me to try to make videos to encourage people to go live. You're doing a lot of legwork for all this. I am, because I'm trying to figure out what the best way to try to earn is. Because at the end of the day, like if my goal, here's my goal. I'll tell you my goal. My goal is to earn $600 a month. That's all I want. That's my van payment. That's all I want. If I can earn more than that and, you know, pay off all of our debts, our student loans and all that stuff, icing on the cake. But our deficit is just my van payment, $600 a month. That's all I need to come up with. And I've been able to do that through substitute teaching, through doing some design jobs, odd jobs here and there, that sort of thing. Some social media work, some web design work, that sort of thing. But I'm trying to build this up so that over the summer when I can't sub, I have something to fall back on. So we'll just start there. that way you have no question about what it is that I am trying to make up for. So if I get to a point where I'm making several thousand a month, that would be incredible, because then we could make a lot of our financial goals that we want to make throughout the years. Cat Mama says, I paid a company for what you are showing. Yeah. Then after setting it up on that one item, it saves the payment settings for any future bids and auctions. Yeah. Go watch Lemons to Lemonade Furniture on YouTube. Okay. So anyway, so YouTube or TikTok right now is pushing me hard to try to create videos to encourage other people to go live. I'm still on the fence as to whether or not I want to do that, because there is an ulterior motive there. It's to get paid. I think I could get paid like $5 for every like 3,000 views. And I'm like, I can't get 3,000 views on a video right now. Are you kidding me? So like, what is even the point? Can you post this to the tube? Because yes, I will. She is debt free, and that is what I want for you. Thank you. We were debt free back in 2021. I don't know what happened between 21 and 24. I think I just had a bad year with my art markets, and I was having to buy all my supplies and put it on credit, and it kind of went up from there. 2025 was like the year that I worked for the job that I had, and I was like, yes, I finally have a consistent paycheck, and we were paying off debt and all that stuff, and then I got laid off. And of course, cost of living goes up, and then your kids get older and they get more expensive, and yada yada. Anyway, I won't go there, but point is, that is the deficit that I'm looking to make up every month. So that being said, let's hop over to Amazon and what I've already made. So I started doing TikTok on March 23rd. It is April 29th now. I got approved for Amazon influencer on April 3rd or something. I can't remember. It was exactly 2 weeks after that. And then I had to wait for those 3 videos to get approved. So I don't think I started really going forward with it until, let's say, like April, trying to think, April 12th-ish. So let's just call it about 2.5, 3 weeks. And since then, I've made $12.33 in creator commissions and $5 and some change. I don't remember the total in regular commissions between on-site and off-site. So about $18 so far in Amazon. It's not great, but it's not terrible for just a few weeks, you guys. And the more I can do these videos and the more I can bring in from off-site and doing these on-sites, then the better my results will be. So like I said, I just hit my 100 videos. And actually it's interesting because I kept thinking to myself, what am I going to get to 100 videos doing? Because you don't have to buy the items on Amazon to submit a review for it on Amazon. The item just has to be available on Amazon. So I have a crap ton of board games. My husband and I are huge board game nerds. And he came home the other day, like 2 days ago, and he had been board gaming with his friends. And I was like, oh, this is genius. Why didn't I think of that? So I literally have a stack of them down here that I finished yesterday. And this is just one of the many stacks that I've done. And these are good priced items. I mean, these games range anywhere from like $40 to like $110. So a commission on that is not going to be bad if somebody buys it. So then, like I said, I'm posting them to YouTube, Pinterest, and my Pinterest has actually also gone up. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to spam everybody on TikTok with that stuff. Now, the caveat to that too is that I think my plan for TikTok, and I was talking to Lindsay about this yesterday, is that my feed is very much a conglomeration of random stuff. It's how to repel your daughter-in-law, how to repel your in-laws. The how to repel your daughter-in-law is very much satire because it's really about how to make a terrible relationship with your daughter-in-law that your daughter-in-law is not going to want to be around you. Facebook Marketplace. I don't think you can post those on Facebook Marketplace. I don't do a whole lot with Facebook, and that's another avenue that I know some people do. Not sure how I'm going to do that one yet, but so I have those. I have some art videos. I have some plant videos. I have just random stuff there. So I think I'm going to continue to do those. I may only post videos of items that I think either you guys would like, or items that you might think are funny to watch, like the float video and probably this Chilbo schwaggin thing that I filmed yesterday. But overall, I don't want to be spammy here, because that is not why I built this community. This community is very much about art and having a fun place to be, having, you know, just a community of people that get together, that love chit-chatting and talking and doing art together, and, you know, just hanging out, I guess you could say. Etsy, you have to pay fees for to list things, and I have done that so much over the years and have gotten very little return on those things, so I don't use Etsy anymore as a seller. Thanks. I love hanging out with you too. So that is pretty much what I've learned so far. I hope that this was helpful. I will download this replay today and get it up on YouTube today for you all to rewatch. The other ones, the other replays are still in the works. Again, it's just a lot of trying to get it posted. If you guys have any questions after watching this back, feel free to DM me. I'm happy to like keep a list of questions and then film another video, do another live. I tend to like doing them over the lives because I don't have to run out of space on my phone because they're already on the internet. So, okay, sounds good. Does anybody else have any questions while you got me live? You're welcome. Good. Oh yeah, I do post videos of me doing chores too. Wave hi to us. Hello. All right, you guys and gals, or both, or none, depending on how you identify. I will see you all, not tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow I won't be on, and I'll make sure to post a message about that. I am going on a boat with my son for his field trip. We're going on the St. John's River Ferry. What? So, all right, you guys and gals, I will see you Friday morning. All right. See you later. Bye.